Hello, welcome pen friends. I just wanted to share with you a little project that I had a lot of fun with over the past week. I started thinking about what I used to write with, back in 2016 before I got back into fountain pens. And I do remember quite a few of them. I don't have everything that I used to write with, and they're a real mess, like broken and in some cases out of ink and everything. But I know that I did write with Pilot G2s. And I always had 3 different colors plus black going. And then I also really loved these B2P, the bottle to pen. I used to take out the Pentel cartridges. Now this is a newer one. This is a Klena. What I had was Pentel Energel needle tip. And I think this is also needle tip, but they looked different and they tended to fall apart, so I would end up harvesting the parts out of the cartridge and putting it into the much hardier B2P. But the thing is, why I was doing this was mainly about color, and I reminded myself how I didn't have that many colors, but I was pretty satisfied as long as I didn't run completely out of ink. So what I was using, I always had a purple, I always had a turquoise, and I had a pink. And of course, I have 2 of them represented here. I used like a Pilot G2 pink, and then I used the Pilot G2 purple until I got involved with the Energels, and I loved the purple in that better. It was a little darker, it was smoother, just really super smooth. I had to kind of look at my paper quality when I moved from these up to the Pentel though. But anyway, then in addition to that, I always had a black, and I always liked to have something in red. But to be honest, I usually would gravitate toward a ballpoint because I just didn't use red that much back then. And so it wasn't really all that smart for me to put money into one that might dry up or not really serve me too well. So I started this, and all I was going to do was get the 3. I was going to determine, well, what would I use now, that would make me happy, that would kind of be like that, so I could see, how much I have changed. Anyway, I ended up picking the 3. So the first one was Pilot Iroshizuku Murasaki Shikibu. Believe it or not, I used to think this was too light, but I'm really liking this better. It is in a little bottle, and it's not old or anything, so I don't think it's gotten that much darker, but I really like it. I've decided it doesn't always have to be a dark purple for me. And then I chose TWSBI Sky Blue for this one, and we'll do some writing samples. We'll also look in my journal that I already had started some Then I got carried away and I ended up with 10 pens inked up, but that's the story that's going to unfold. So TWSBI Sky Blue, believe it or not, out of all of the turquoises I have, kind of emulated that first palette that I had, if you would, before I came back in. But then I did find another blue that I might prefer because it's a little more saturated, but I like this too. And Diamine Hope Pink, because I really love Lavender Pinkley, but it's discontinued. And I like a lot of different pinks now, as we'll see with those other pens that I ended up inking up. But I wanted that neon pink kind of experience. And I've got other samples, but I really wanted it to be bottles that I have and that would be easy to find for you if you were interested, that wouldn't be impossible to find. So this is my starting point. I pulled out my Lavender Bomber pen case that zips up, and it holds 3 on one side, 4 on the other. And then I've got a whole bunch of stuff in here, which we'll be talking about, because I have, I always used to use a felt tip, but this is also an upgrade, I think, in the felt tip, because I use a uni pin now, a 01. And then I have 2 ballpoints that I just carry either around in my pocket. These are both pocket pens, and I've done a review on these, so I'll find it in the ancient archives and put it at the end screen or whatever. So I have a red and a black here. And anyway, I chose a couple extra colors that kind of represent me more now. So let's hop into my ink journal as a starting point, and then we'll take each one of these and at least write, you know, a little bit with them, because I think it's really interesting how it started so simple. I was just going to do 3, and now I have, you know, these are not going to suffice for July completely because I want some more broad nibs inked up. But I wanted to do this video first because I wanted to show you that I would be dealing with these. I know they don't dry up. So when I only ink up 6 next month, I didn't want anybody to have to come and take my temperature or anything. There's nothing wrong with me. I just, I'm pretty sure that some of these are broad nibs, but mostly they're medium. So I'm thinking that letter writing, it just depends on the paper, but I generally really want a broad nib. So anyway, let's dive into the ink journal now. Okay, so this was my starting point. Like I said, I wanted to choose the purple, the turquoise, and the pink, you know, neon pink. And then I wanted, I knew I always had something in a black ink going, usually a gel, usually one of these needle tip that were the Pentel Energel. This is an Energel too, but it's a Clenna. It's a different, you know, it's a little bit different, but the bodies were the same. I used to be kind of rough on the bodies of these and wind up breaking them, which is odd because I never break anything, but they didn't hold up that great for me. But I love the actual guts of it. Let's see. I'll show you. So this is almost out, but they fit, and they fit really good. So I would have a lot of fun with that. So the black, and then I realized, well, I can go over the red, and it doesn't have to be it can be whatever red I want. So I did choose the Pilot Momiji, but let's, I think, so I showed you these 3 tiles, and I think that's as far as we'd gotten. And then I chose Cross Black for the black, because that's my current favorite, and I haven't finished the bottle yet. And then Pilot Momiji for the red. And it looks redder in writing than it does on its swatches. So, you know, it kind of looks like, well, what are you doing with another pink? But it definitely looks red coming out of a medium TWSBI nib. So I'm real happy with it. But at first I thought, well, that just doesn't look like what I'm looking for. But yeah, it is. That just shows you that your swatches don't always go with what comes out of the nib. So then I thought, well, bonus, I have to have gray, because since I entered fountain pens, gray has become one of my favorite things to write with it. It wasn't an easy color for me to find before because I wasn't ordering online. Prior to getting into fountain pens, I hadn't done that. I just got all my stationery stuff at Walmart, at Office Depot, and in the grocery store. So now I'm, you know, finding all these things and knowing that gray is one of my favorite colors to write with. It's not quite black, and it has that nice, you know, just really nice. So I picked TWSBI, yeah, it's a TWSBI pen, but Faber Castell Stone Gray. I just love it. And you know, what I love the best is that these pens won't dry up. So anyway, that's as far as I got in here. But then I went ahead and I thought, well, let me see, like today, like even though I was trying not to match exactly, but to come really close to what I used to love. But what would I choose today out of what I have? And it was pretty close. I mean, Monteverde Purple Rain is just a little brighter. And it's a lovely purple. And we'll get to see them on the same like spread here in a minute. And then, well, because we're going to do that. I haven't done it yet. And then Pilot Iroshizuku Konpeki is a little bit better for me in terms of being more readable and just more dramatic on the page, and I like it a little bit better than the Sky Blue. But the Sky Blue came closer to what I used to write with, I believe. And this is all from memory. I don't have the pens. Manuel doesn't have any anymore, I don't think, because we've written them all dry. And then for my pink, I also like a little bit more saturated. So it's the Pilot Iroshizuku Azalea that's my absolute favorite. And, you know, in a nib, that can kind of play tricks on you. You might feel like it might be a little bit red. But let's see how it all pans out. Let's start writing with these pens. And I haven't created, I've created for my regular July spread, which I'm probably only going to have about 6 of those. But let's just... We'll get another page and we'll work on this right here. Okay, so we'll start with the three basic ones, the purple, the turquoise, and the Hope Pink. And this is the TWSBI Eco Lilac with a medium nib. And all I'm going to do is just, it's not going to be all that fancy. I just wanted to have a chance to look at them. Like I'll leave a space for the purple across and everything. So TWSBI Eco Lilac medium with Pilot, and I'm going to leave off the Roshizuku because I know what it is. Pilot Murasaki Shikibu. And I'll go ahead and do a little smear test too. So that's the first one. And then we're going to go for the turquoise, the sky blue. And this is the Cerulean blue. So this is TWSBI Eco Cerulean blue with a broad nib. I do not have as many, like I have so many TWSBI Ecos, but still not the colors precisely that I was looking for, except with the exact nib. But that doesn't matter because this writes really well, especially with this particular ink. The darker color, the Konpeki, really needed a medium versus a broad. But this one can benefit, I think, this ink. So this is TWSBI Eco, whoops, Cerulean blue with a broad nib and TWSBI sky blue. And there we go. Okay, so I'm really the most interested in when we can start comparing. And then last but not least, the pink, which is in a TWSBI Eco Clear. This is my old pen that I've had for years, and it has a medium nib. It was the very first TWSBI Eco and one of the first 3 pens that I purchased when I got into the hobby, so still going good. So TWSBI Eco Clear medium with Diamine Hope Pink. This is one of those that I was a holdout for a long time on getting a bottle. But then when I finally did, I decided to go ahead and get the 30 ml bottle because I have other pinks that I like, but this continues to be in my memory. So I'd had like 2 or 3 different samples of it, and that, you know, that's when it's time. It's like, don't keep doing that because then you're really not cost effective with your samples. So those are the 3 that I thought most were similar to what I used to write with before I came into the hobby. So then we'll drop down one more and do the black ink. And this is the TWSBI Eco Clear with an extra fine nib that a viewer and pen friend sent me. So it seems like a generous extra fine, but it's perfect for what I do because I don't really like a pin, a super thin line anyway. So this is TWSBI Eco Clear extra fine, which to me, I'm wondering if there's much difference between an extra fine and a medium. Although I know that cross black tends to really put down the ink, so I'm wondering if maybe other inks might not look quite as flowy as this does. So this is cross black. Okay, I'm going to do this, and well, let me try that one more time. Yeah, it's nice. And, you know, it's not overpowering because it is an extra fine, but I love that. Okay, so then I think what I'm going to do is we'll get the gray out. The gray is in the middle pouch here. I love this middle pouch. It's really handy. And actually, I need to get out one more pen while I'm in there because I got one more fountain pen. The rest are not fountain pens that are in that middle pouch, but I'm going to need that later. So for the gray TWSBI, I chose the cement gray with a medium nib, and this was also sent by a pen friend who did not get along with the colorway of this. And I was just delighted because at the time I had no pen allowance, no prospect of buying it. I don't know whether this was limited or not, but if it was, I'm very grateful to have this one. I'm not going searching for stuff like that right now because I'm on a pen fast. I'm not purchasing, but right now. So TWSBI Eco, Cement Gray. Okay, the medium line seems a lot thicker than the extra fine, that's for sure. With Graf von Faber Castell Stone Gray. Oh, the little tiny bit of ink I have left in that bottle is really psyching me out, but it's so flowy and so perfect. And it'll dry a little bit lighter than it goes on. So now I'm thinking that we can go across. So there's what we have. And what we can do is I picked 3 more. Oh no, I got to do the red first. Let's do the red. Let's see. I cannot see very well because I've got a strange glare on my glasses. Let's do the red first. Then we can go and do the 3 comparison ones kind of off to the side. And it might give us a little bit of a data, I guess. So this is the TWSBI Eco Transparent Red with a medium nib. And I've got in there Pilot Momiji. So this gives me my red, where I don't have to resort to the ballpoint. I just didn't tend to buy gel pens in red. I didn't use enough of it. But I think now I use even more because I like to go and edit stuff. I like to go in and even in my journal and just box stuff to bring my attention to words that I use and kind of get an idea of where I'm coming from. So transparent. And red is just one of those colors that works good for that. It doesn't have to be red, but I find that that'll get my attention. Oh, I didn't put the nib size for the pen before. Okay. I'd like to do that so that we could be at least a little bit consistent. Medium. Okay. And Pilot Momiji. Very happy with that too. Okay, so now I do believe we're ready to do our 3 comparison. Our purple, blue, and pink to see, how do we come out. And here they are. Let's see. Put them here, I guess, off to the side. So first up is the purple, and then I'll try to move this so that we can see it better. I put it in my TWSBI Mini AL with a medium nib because I was running out of options. I actually think I inked nearly all my mediums except for like the orange one and the yellow one, which just didn't, my memory won't know what I've got going on if I start inking crazy color combos, I guess. But okay, so this is sort of like my today's favorite purple. One of them. TWSBI Mini AL, and I have not had this inked in a while. I didn't get along as well with the medium, but when I purchased a broad nib unit for this pen, it changed the experience quite a bit. So this has been sort of like having a new pen because it did really change it, and I'd kind of forgotten. And it's a clear one, of course. Okay, and we've got Monteverde Purple Rain. I love this ink. I should have gotten the bigger bottle. I got a 30 ml bottle. But I'll run right through it while I'm still not probably finishing up the other purples, because that's what I do. Okay, then the pink. Oops, so we're not... Oh no, I'm not doing the pink next. I'm doing the blue because when I reveal all this, then we'll have a chance to look all the way across. So the next is the blue that I would now today kind of choose. Pilot Iroshizuku Konpeki, which is one of my favorites. It's not blue-black, it's bright enough for me. And I like blue-black. I have a favorite Pilot ink that's blue-black too. Or to me it's blue-black, it might not be, but it's the Asagayo. I love that ink, and it's going to be up for July. I've got a pen to try it in. So TWSBI Eco Transparent Blue with a medium nib. And Pilot Konpeki. I just love that. That is wet ink. That is nice. Okay. And then finally for the purple at last, I mean the pink, is the Pilot Iroshizuku Azalea. And I put it in TWSBI Eco Rose Gold and White, which is one of my favorite, with a medium nib. Oh, you know what? I kind of lied. This is a broad nib, but it fools me every time because it's closer to a medium nib in my mind. But we might as well, it's stamped with a B, so we might as well be accurate. Okay, TWSBI Eco Rose Gold and White. See, I kind of think at times it looks red, but it has that punch, that really dark purple, kind of a just yummy look to it. So medium with Pilot Azalea. And it has another name too, which I can't pronounce good, so I'll put it here. Okay, and then we'll leave our room for our little... Whoops! I don't know if I have any finger that's not already... there we go. So it's gorgeous, and it kind of shows you better the pink on the smears, but anyway, let's see how we came out here. And I don't want to go very far with the 3 original on either side because I think we'll have a little fun with squares when we get done. Okay. There, so what I'm seeing already just automatically is that either, you know, that, okay, so I was trying to match, not match exactly, but from memory, what did those G2s and the Energel Pentels, what was I getting? And then, you know, then I would see and I would try it and see, am I still happy with that kind of thing? Or what kind of improvement or what kind of, you know, colors that are similar that would I go for today, which is on this side. I think we'll just label it that. Like today and yesterday. I may or may not be heat stricken because I've been outside doing the lawn, but anyway, so here we are. So what I'm seeing is the purple that I chose now that I would say would be spot on is brighter. And then the blue is darker, more saturated, and it appears brighter. And then the pink is almost red, but it's that deeper kind of color. And I still like the pink, but these are almost 2 separate colors. Like if I had to choose between the 2 though to write with, it would have to be the Azalea. And yet I still reach sometimes for a pink when I really want a brightness. So I think, you know, that's really cool. It just shows you that fountain pens just offer so many more, you know, really exact color that you can get it darker or lighter or more saturated or a little bit pinker, a little bit redder, a little bit purpler, whatever you want. And then, of course, the black, the gray, and the red. Now, there's not a lot of... I'm perfectly happy with the black and the gray. The red, I think there's several others that I'd thought of. Like, I actually really like TWSBI's Crimson. It's real pretty and it's just wonderful. Let's see if we got something to use with that. Yeah, it's a Fude nib. I'm just trying to find a nib that I could try it with. I'll probably get all of the... Okay, there's the fine nib. This is a Sailor Hokoro, and I thought perhaps I'd just write with it a little for all of us to see whether my memory's holding up. But I really like this. Oh dear. Didn't think that through too good. Okay, so here we are. So this is, I don't want to confuse things, so I'll just do it to the side. Oh, that's really a fine nib. So this is Sailor Hokoro. Oh my goodness, it feels really too fine. But it doesn't always, so that's interesting. TWSBI Crimson. I guess all I was trying to say here is these are definitely, this is definitely a red, and it looks red, and it's perfectly happy, and this had this for a while. So let's see. Oh, I just made a terrible mess. Well, it's ink. It's not going to kill us. Okay, but I do see that I made a mistake over here. I didn't put a little smear test so that we could see the red. See, it does. It almost lifts a little bit pink. And the Sailor Crimson. And I've got others. I've got KWZ. Just Thief's Red. That's one of them. And probably several other reds too. But that Pila Momiji I've got a large bottle of. So I'm like, yeah, go for it. Fill it up. I could put it in here. I could put it in one of my Opus 88s. So this, needless to say, this has been a lot of fun. And I've come a long way since I wouldn't even order online, didn't know about the world of stationery and, you know, how to go about it at all. It's just been so much fun, and I now have, let's see, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. I thought I had 10. 9. Okay, 9 fountain pens inked up, and all fitting in this one little case. So that's going to be fun, and that's going to be a lot of my July. But I'll be coming back at you with my Chris's ink pens. But for right now, I want to go to the library and just talk about this a little bit more. There, I'm over in my little library room, and I guess what it brings to mind for me, or what I feel is, I just feel like these can be inked up for a long time because they're not going to dry out, and that's going to give me more of just the stable, what I'm used to of having color variety, but I'm still going to want letter writing pens. So I've chosen 6 pens with broad nibs and assorted. You know, I think one of them I may change to a stub nib, and that's still broader than the medium nib. So for the most part, these are either medium or broad that wasn't quite broad enough, you know, so that it kind of mimics a medium nib. And I just think that it's an experiment. I'm going to see, you know, how this goes. But so far, just with a few days, I've enjoyed it because I have all my pens on my desk lined up in a tray to write letters with, but I'm wanting kind of the old-fashioned, I don't want gel pens again, but I wanted that old experience of having enough colors already ready and not having to make choices all the time, because it's fine, you know, I don't mind cleaning a bunch of pens and switching inks and all of that, but I'd like some stability. And if I get really tired of it, I can still go to a different, I mean, I've got 2 sets of the pink, turquoise, and purple that I can just kind of switch back and forth, then the black and the gray. So it's really been really fun, with the exception of one day when I got sick. I got this mystery illness that struck me with just a hideous headache, and then my stomach, but it was all gone in 24 hours. But oh my God, I was like, either cure me or kill me, because it was terrible, and I still don't know what happened. Manuel thinks I got bit by a mosquito or something, but I didn't think I did, and it'd be much worse than that if it was something like that. I popped back up the next day, but I couldn't even read or look at a pen for 24 hours. So, I'm just really grateful for non-pain and just for feeling well again. And we got the lawn done today and everything. So I kept debating whether to try to roll this video in with my Chris's ink pens, but these are just going to be going in the background, and I'll let you know. In fact, I know I'll work in the ink journal more extensive writing samples with these, and because I'm only going to do 6 for letter writing, and some of these I'll be picking up to write letters, no doubt, because sometimes I just get really bored with the colors and I want to get, you know, some specific color. Because I'm just one of those letter writers that just keeps picking up different fountain pens and writing like an A5 size whole side with the same pen. And so it depends on how long the letter is, how many pens I need even. So that's another interesting thing. But, you know, I'd almost given up on this case. both Manuel and I have one the same, and he fits more of his kind of pens in them because the size is not quite wide enough for some of my fountain pens. But when I realized that all the TWSBIs fit just fine, they fit differently. On the right side, you know, it only fits into the band, and then on the left side, I just kind of put them sideways. And there only fits 3 over here. But then even a TWSBI Eco fits in that zipper in the middle. So I'm really glad that this case, the investment I had in this case is not wasted, because I really want to use it. And I just tend to take my daily writing journal and my bullet journal and this case around with me wherever I'm going to be writing. And I keep switching rooms depending on where the air and the fan and the air conditioner are keeping the house cooler. So we're in the middle of a heat wave like half the country, I think. And so that's what I'm doing. A lot of indoor work in between the bursts of going outside trying to keep up with the outdoor stuff. So I hope you all are safe and doing well. And I will see you on my Chris's Inked pens, because I'd like to keep organized that way. So I have actually have the 6 pens and the inks chosen, but I've got some pens to clean. And let's see, this is the 28th, I think. This is already June 28th, Friday, June 28th that I'm recording this. And so there's like 2 days left, and I'm really bored with the other inks that I was writing with. So that's a big incentive for me to get over to the sink, clean out some that are, you know, finished, and organize and get those 6 pens that I chose and the inks. Because it was ink driven too this time. In one case, it was a pen that I've been wanting to try. So, or 2, I think. 2 were not pen driven, but anyway, you'll see. I'll show you on that video. And I hope you have a great weekend, and upcoming 4th of July, that'll be wonderful. It's going to be our 39th wedding anniversary on July 4th. So I'll see you back here, and I'll see you in the comments. And thank you so much for all your comments, support, likes, subscriptions, and everything else here. I really appreciate you. Bye for now.